Hi everyone, I'm Shaista and I'm excited to share something new we have been working on with Tea Time with Testers. We are launching a video podcast where I sit down with the contributing authors from each issue, the people behind the ideas and perspective you read in the magazine. In these conversations, we go beyond the article. We walk through the thinking behind them, real testing challenges, and the practical lessons that come from the real world experience. If you enjoy Tea Time with Testers, you will enjoy these deeper, more technical discussions. So stay tuned, subscribe, and get ready to hear directly from the voices shaping our testing community. I'm really looking forward to sharing the first episode with you. So see you soon. Hi everyone and welcome to Tea and Testing with Shaista. My name is Shaista Ali and I'm founder and CEO of Carnelian Technologies. And I am today really excited to be joined by Dragan Spiridonov. Dragan is the founder of Quantum Quality Engineering and an agentic quality engineer and nearly 3 decades of experience in IT and over 12 years of experience in QA and quality engineering. In today's episode, we will explore what agentic system truly means for testers, why strong testing fundamentals matter more than ever, and how the role of QA is evolving from execution to orchestration. Inspired by Dragan's excellent article in Tea Time with Testers magazine. Dragan, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Hi, Shaista. I'm glad to be here and be able to share some of my experiences on these topics.
In your article, Dragan, you said that AI does not replace testers, it amplifies them. What made you arrive to that conclusion?
Uh, in 12 years or more, I've been trying to do a lot of things using different tools to help me surface information faster. But what's happening in the last year has leveled up that game because AI assisted tools and agents now can really amplify and provide you faster information and save time on some tedious task related to quality assurance and software testing if you are using them in a proper way. As all those LLM-based tools have their disclaimer, don't trust the outputs. So if you don't activate your critical thinking and software testing, and approach this seriously, then you will get results that are suboptimal.
Yeah.
So depending how are you approaching your daily tasks, you can either amplify yourself or create more problems for
Mm,
yourself.
exactly. What also really stood out to me that in your story you talk about 54 TypeScript errors. It's such a
Mhm.
perfect example, like on how AI can appear confident, but still completely miss reality.
Yeah, that's just one of the examples when agents reported confidently that they did finish something,
Mm.
but later when I tried to build the application, that it proved that the agent didn't even run or try to build the
Yeah.
application or run the test. He's just said, "Okay, I think I'm done." Yeah, they optimize to complete the task. So
Yeah.
they will do their best to finish their task. And I would say I had much more trouble a year ago compared to the current state of what agents can do. But we are still not, there that we can allow them to, run around completely unintended.
Yeah. And I think that differentiates, like that's a difference you highlight between generation and verification. I think it's probably the most critical distinction that people still underestimate. And that actually brings us nicely into how, these agentic system behaves in real environment. So,
Mhm.
from your experience building agentic system, where do AI agent most commonly fail without human oversight?
Oh, if you don't have proper workflow defined with good quality gates and evaluation criteria, agents will fall in multiple places, starting from the test. So if, for instance, I, use TDD approach when doing the development, starting with agents will write the tests, but they will also optimize for tests to pass. And if you don't check that first level and really provide them with the good golden examples of what good looks like and analyze the test before it continues in the further phase of development, you, you will get again results or code will adhere to the test that didn't test the expected behavior, but the isolated component, that just, does what it needs to does. But when you connect the system and try to integrate the system, it's just, disconnected blocks of code. And that's a thing that I'm, fighting against in the last, let's say now, I would say almost 7 months or something like that while working on developing my agentic QA fleet using agents and testing with agents.
Like, I really like how you framed hallucinated confidence because that's exactly the danger zone. It looks very convincing, it sounds very convincing, and that's where team tend to, lower their guards. And this is where I think classical testing skills become extremely powerful again. You also map classical testing skills directly into agentic workflows. Which testing skills do you think becomes the most critical in the agentic age?
I already mentioned critical thinking, so I will not, repeat it, but maybe I will repeat it several more times because that's, one of the most important, but like risk identification. So, software test or whoever is, let's call it quality oriented person in a team,
Mm-hmm.
with developed testing mindset and working on developing those skills, they will first work on identifying the risks. So agent decision risks is one of the biggest one. So, should we, trust the agent's decisions? In a number of times, my QE requirements or other agents would flag, some specification as ambiguous, even if I know that it's a good one, or it will flag like my security key in my don't env, even though it's in git ignore. So there, things that agents, even though it is now I'm, working on improving them. So you see they miss something, you need to work on improving the prompt. But again, you need to be the human in the loop to do the
Yeah.
validation, not only the verification of the results agents provided.
Exactly. Like, I honestly think like if you also performing like exploratory testing and
Oh.
risk-based prioritization, I don't see really like the AI replicating this well in the complex business context. You also.
It cannot replicate, but it can help. So here, uh, there is, I would say, maybe few people in the world that we are practicing their skills, and they know how to do the good session-based approach to exploratory testing.
Mhm.
So some of these good practices, if you haven't read the book or didn't try it or wasn't on any conference where you can explore that in some, workshop or some dojo or something like that, you don't know the practices. So some of these practices are like heuristics created on top of the good practices can be applied. As for Depot from rapid software testing, QCSD from Lalit. So there are different frameworks
Yeah.
that can be now, let's say, um, partially uh, uh, condensed into the skills and agents. And that's something that I'm trying to, like condense the knowledge of good practices. So there are no, best practices in our field, but there are good practices that can be used as examples for somebody else. And, then it can help you. Okay, did you check this? Maybe we forgot something. As, our uh, human capabilities are limited. Our focus and attention can hold only like a 4 to 7 things while we are working on something. So, we will forget. We have our own biases. So, that's if you know how to use, again, new type of tool, you can probe more things. You can probe security, performance, accessibility, different types of things that you are not specialized for, and these agents can surface those information for you. And at that point, you as a human, as a tester or a quality-oriented person, must come in and analyze that information to really assess if that information is valuable.
But to analyze that sort of information, I think you need to be an expert. Otherwise, whatever the agent is presenting, if you don't know about, for example, I don't know about security testing, and
Mhm.
if I'm getting the results from the agents, I will feel maybe that they are right because I don't know. I could not analyze it. Do you think an expert is needed to analyze those sections of testing?
Um, Yes, but ask again help from different agents or different LLMs. So use LLM as a judge. Use give the results. So here is my original prompt, what I wanted. Here are the results that I got from instance from Claude, and feed it into ChatGPT or feed it into or Codex in this case. I mean CLI based tools. So pick your flavor, but don't only trust one
That's an amazing
result
tip as well,
provided.
which you have just given. That's an amazing tip. You also describe testers from like executioners to quality orchestrators.
Mhm.
What does orchestration actually look like in practice?
So that a year ago, I was on like a single-threaded agents running either using Klein or Rue code at that moment. Today I think it was the birthday of Claude CLI. So Claude
Oh,
Code, birthday is today. So it just surfaced and it started popping up. I started using it maybe somewhere in May or June last year. But these tools, when I got to use orchestration inside Claude, that provided completely a different level
mm,
of how agents are behaving. Because when swarms of agents are running with the shared memory and working on a same set of tasks toward the same goal, they will produce some kind of emergent behavior. So it's not something that you get only from the single, threaded agents.
mm,
That's something that you can get only from swarms working.
yeah.
And if you organize the swarms in a certain way, either using like a mesh approach, that's like a, most of the queue-related workflows use the mesh, but I'm implemented in the version 3 hierarchical mesh where you have like a QE queen coordinator that oversees the work of all other agents in the fleet working in different domains, and then organizes, share the information between domains, shares, learns patterns, and then stores the patterns in the end. So that's you know I'm working on developing self-learning, self-improving quality engineering platform.
Wow.
As you use it on project, it learns the patterns,
Mm.
and in time it, stops going to LLMs for reasoning parts. Because agents, go back to the basics. So what agent is? It's like a, software program or, application, but that has possibility to observe, so to use tools to collect the data or prepare for the task that was provided. Then it needs to decide how it will execute that, and in that moment it usually goes to fetch from the LLM. So instead of going to LLM, reasoning bank with patterns provided, okay, we learned something with like a 95% confidence that this type of unit test goes with this type of methods. Let's apply that. No need to go to fetch from LLM because it already did that number of previous times and improved like a good practice in that project.
It's like almost like testers are becoming the conductors of quality rather than just, performing performers.
Yeah, yes, that's my metaphor that I use because I'm a lot of time envisioning myself as a conductor. I you know I did some music, like played some, harmonica and guitar, but I never had chance to, to play the piano or the violin or something like that. In this case, didn't do that much security testing, only maybe, take a glance there. Now, with this combo, I can orchestrate and probe
Mm.
through the project and product related informations for the information important to the quality characteristics that we identified for the context of our project that we are working, that we want to work on. So I don't need to look, for instance, for security of a project if it's my personal project.
Mm.
I am working on, and I will use it like an, once, a couple of scripts that I will write and I will ditch it and never use it anymore. If I'm deploying production code that has user access and things, that's a different
Yeah.
context. Security, penetration testing. I even have like skills to check other agents' work, brutal honesty reviews, Sherlock review to dig deeper to understand really the root cause. So they can find like this is like the bug problem we have, go investigate what's happening in the system.
Oh,
That
that
can help not only testers, but developers,
that's
I suppose.
amazing. Like if you check the bug and then they go to the specific PR and check the code and see like this code is particularly, causing the issue.
Yep.
Wow. What make you like which makes you actually your advice specifically like valuable for testers who are just starting in their journey? So for testers who are very curious about AI but very overwhelmed because all you see is, even though if you open LinkedIn, all you see is AI, 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 AI. So it becomes very overwhelming that like I'm far behind. Maybe everybody else is learning. I'm not learning. I don't know where to start. So where should they realistically start?
Okay. They should start from the basics, and the basics are again prompt engineering. So start experimenting, testing using this, let's say, same prompt in, just do that the same prompt in the different LLMs. So
Mm.
that's like the first test that I did like 2 years ago. I, started with that to see what kind of results I will get from, different LLMs. Try to, experiment with the order of words in a prompt. Try to add roles. So, ask the LLM to write you a prompt, to write you a better prompt for what you're trying to achieve. It will always write a better prompt than you can. So just give it like, I want to, achieve this. Help me write a prompt for this. And in that way, you will start to learn with the prompts that it provides how you should prompt it. So that's like a basic thing. On the prompt engineering, start learning about context engineering. So, how to ground your agent in your project context. Each of these agent AI-assisted tools that you can use in any IDE now in, Cloud desktop version has Cloud Code or even Cloud Web version. Most of these tools have their own agentic version of tool, and all of them have their own file, MD file, that gives them basic grounding, like Claude.md for Claude environments, agent.md for codecs, Gemini MD for Gemini CLI. Root code and Client, they use memory bank with multiple files, MD files in it. So, each of those agents has the basic grounding rules. And on top of that, you should add, your golden rules examples, why, things should happen. That's something that also you can just let, direct agent your project and ask it, find me, explain me my project. You can use it to learn about the code. So if you're not technical tester, you can ask it questions about the code. And start learning. If you have previously automation, ask the questions about your automation. Is our framework good enough? Can we improve it somehow? Are there better ways to do this? And you will be amazed how much it can help you, just boosting from there. And then, like a third level, agentic engineering, doing the orchestrations of agents, multiple agents working at the same time to achieve common goal. And for that, you can look at agentic-qe.dev, where the agentic QE framework is explained. And that's like a starting point, how to maybe create your own agent for your context, by start small and small steps that will get you toward your goal.
I really appreciate your emphasis on starting small and focusing on like maybe low risk use cases. And it's important, like just to start, there are all these LLMs that are ready to help you. You just need to start with prompt
Yep.
engineering, which is great because, and what you said about even you can ask to create LLMs to create prompts for you, which is amazing. Like learning what the code is about, what the PR is about, what the changes are being made. These are very small steps which you can take and introduce AI in your life. And then if you want to go ahead and explore, then create your own agents, then that's a different story. I think that's you need a little bit of
That's
coding
next
to
level, but yeah.
that's the next level.
Start small until you feel comfortable. But what's really important is experiment.
Yes.
You need to feel it in your fingers. You need to try different things, different models, different ways of doing things. And you need to start doing it immediately, because
Yeah.
somebody else is doing that and can amplify themselves really quickly.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. So, looking ahead with what mindset shift do testers need the most to stay relevant in agentic future or in this industry?
Um, this is something that comes from my, computer science teacher background at early 2000. There was like four C's, like superpowers of the 21st century. And in these days, these superpowers, four C superpowers, are becoming even more and more important. Those are, I will repeat it again, critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. So critical thinking, agents will lie frequently. They will claim task completion before the test pass. So we don't trust blindly. That's something that we already are doing. We just were not trusting developers, that they produce what they, said. We now just need to check. Let's say the problem is now with the amount of things that we need to check. But then we need to be creative about how to approach that. That's why I went out and created my own framework, experimenting creative with building blocks available, how I can, maybe create something novel and provide additional values. So humans imagine, but agents execute. We need to communicate better. if you're not good in the human-to-human communication inside teams, you will have problem communicating also with your agents.
Yeah.
So that's like a big thing. You need to be able to express your, goals, thinking, risks, and explain these things to agents. Because if you do it in an ambiguous way, that's the same. If we get like ambiguous requirements, we will not implement feature, even, it's not agent fault, really. If
Yeah.
you take a look, the human would make the same mistake. So we need also to collaborate more, not only like we did, human to human, but now to evolve this kind of collaboration, because sometimes agents give objective views to things. So people are more subjective, even though I would say agents still have their own, biases and things based on the data they were trained on. But in a number of situations, they can provide more objective view at the things than the, single, person or a team can have, because it has like a vast amount of knowledge at disposal.
Yeah. Do you also think like if in future, like let's say in 5 years, do you think like the company size, QA size being shrinking, if the team was like five, it will be just one?
Now I see the QA teams growing and development teams shrinking, if you ask me honestly.
Okay.
So, developers will more need to develop either those like architectural design approaches, like understanding the business thing and the business impacts, but the verifications, validation, critical analysis of what's happening and
Yeah.
things, those are becoming more. So the code is not anymore the bottleneck.
Hmm.
The validation of, if the, what is delivered is really solving the problem in a way that human experience confirms is
Mhm.
okay. I see, more and more need for quality oriented persons. So if there are software testers, quality assurance, quality engineers, software developer in test, name it whatever you want. So
Mhm.
whatever person is quality oriented in a team, I think it will become more and more important in the next years.
It will be more for QAs, but less for other departments, I would say, because like AI is coming for everyone.
Yes, yes, but again, everybody can, that's another thing that, I wrote a new articles recently. Everybody can amplify, their self and the work that they are working on. They need just to balance how to distribute the value, that they're, getting from the tools. You can like speed yourself up 10 times, but what that means, I can finish in 1 hour something that would take me 10 hours before, right? What
Yeah,
I will do with the rest of, 9 hours I have now available.
right. Is there any one misconception about AI in testing you wish would disappear? And if it is, like what it would be?
What would be disappear? I mean, yeah, yeah. Testing is a thinking activity. That's something that cannot be automated.
Mm.
There are parts, that's something that I think last 50 years, software industry is trying to automate testing. And they, didn't manage that. But what they did manage, looks like they will manage to automate development
Yeah,
or no, coding, writing
coding.
code.
Yeah,
So, development will move more into, designing the solution, thinking, what the problems are being solved
yeah,
in a which way, if the, user experience of the solution that we are thinking about is something that will bring joy to our customers, or it will make them, hate the application. So, focusing on the human part is something that I see we should all go and leave the, tools do their job.
yeah. So Dragan has very interesting agentic QE fleet. And if anyone is interested in looking at it, I'll share the link below. And Dragan, thank you so much. It was really thoughtful and insightful conversation. Do you have any final thoughts to share?
Uh, don't be afraid to experiment. Go. Try things, small steps. Eh, my mantra, and I think I'm still living by it, is try to do every day one thing 1% better to improve yourself.
Wow.
So try, learn something new each day, and
Wow.
these tools now really can help you learn new stuff each day.
That's an amazing, amazing tip in general as well. Like you can apply this anywhere in your life to be
Yep.
1% better in everything each day. Amazing tip. Thank you so much. And for everyone who is listening or watching, I hope this conversation gave you something to reflect on and how you see your role evolving as a tester. If you'd like to deep dive into agentic QE, I would highly recommend connect with Dragan on his LinkedIn, and we will share his socials along with this video. And thank you everyone for joining me on Tea and Testing with Shaista. I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.